Hello, Julie here, and thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel today. If you're new here, thank you for coming along. I hope you will come and see me quite often, and if you've been visiting me for a while, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So today I'm working on my granddaughter's yearly album. I think that this is getting pretty close to finished now. I'm sharing 7 pages with you today, so that's back and front, a total of 7, not 7 back and fronts. Anyway, there's an assortment of photos from holidays, school camps, just general photos. So, and some of them are pocket pages and some of them are not. They're just created on a piece of white cardstock. A nice thick cardstock. I use 300 GSM smooth white cardstock to make the page bases when I'm not using the pocket pages. And I'm also using Denise Boddey papers right throughout this album. The papers, it doesn't matter what range you use, they all coordinate so beautifully together. There's a mixture of colours, but they all blend so well. And there's I think it's about 4 or 5 paper collections now that she has. And as I said, I'm going to use a variety of all of them. So these layouts are fairly straightforward. So I'll see how I go, but there's a fair chance that if I just put this on and put some soft music on behind it and just let you watch it, it's fairly well self-explanatory. But I will have a look and see if there's any places that I need to explain what I'm doing, and if there is, I'll come in and tell you what I'm doing. This first page is a pocket page, and I actually cut my paper to the wrong size. I mismeasured it, so I simply cut another strip to make it up to the correct size, so I end up with 2 different pattern papers showing. I was quite happy with that. It just adds a new element to the page. It doesn't look weird or anything like that, and yeah, it fixes the problem without me having to start all over again. To embellish the page, I have cut a couple of fishtail panels out of some of the pattern paper from the range and attached them behind the photo. Now, I split the blue paper in half because it wasn't long enough to go all the way behind the photo. I also, in all of my photos, I think in this book, I have used an emery board to file around the photos, and that gives it just a nice fine white border. I also have used some fussy cut items from the pattern paper, so the pattern paper's got so many pretty patterns on it that I just cut a few sheets up, cutting out all the elements, and with this one I'm adding a few of those. I ink around the edge of everything on my layouts. I'm a big inking fan. I think it just gives it such a nice finish. It gives it sort of a defining border. So I do that on all of my elements on my pages. I also used a piece of chipboard. The name of it is Deco Scroll Small, and I have already painted that white, and I'm going to add a coat of Kinderglitz to it. So this is the clear one that just has the sparkle in it. I give it a good coat of that using a brush. Throughout the album I've been using these black stickers to do my titles and things, so I'm going to use the same stickers to put the title on this. Now I'm not sure where this photo was taken. I forgot to ask my daughter about that, but I know it was taken in April, and I think it was taken in Mount Gambier, but I'm not exactly sure, so I won't put that on there. I'll just put the month so that Charlie knows that that was taken in April. So I'm using my tweezers, my reverse tweezers, and my T-ruler to try and get that title straight. So I'm starting on the second page now, and this is going to be pretty easy because it's the back of another layout or another page. It's a fold out page, and I've already added the pattern paper to the page background itself. So now I'm just matting my photo onto a piece of blue cardstock, and I'm going to attach that over the top of the pattern paper that's already attached to my page background. I just said a few seconds ago that I filed around the edge of all of the photos, but it appears that somehow this one got missed, so this one doesn't have the filing around the edge, but well, doesn't make any difference. The same thing I'm going to do for the embellishments on this page. I'm just going to use some of the fussy cut elements from the pattern paper. One of them being a moth, and that's from Denise's new range called Cogs of Time, and it's her latest range, and it's very steampunkish. So I'll just put this on fast forward and you can watch how this one comes together. So we're moving on to the next page now, and this is going to be on the back of that page that we did called April, and it is on its own cardstock base, so I haven't done it back to back, but it will go in the same pocket. So I have this lovely floral fussy cut piece. Well, actually it's not, it's a panel that I've cut from that Cogs in Time paper. And I've also cut a couple of strips of pattern paper and a couple of strips of gold paper. And I have some of the same flowers that is in that panel. I have fussy cut from another sheet of the pattern paper. So I'm going to use those to assemble this page. This time I did remember to use my emery board to file around my photos, and I have matted it onto some black cardstock, the photo that is. You will notice that the edges, everything on these pages is distressed, so I'm using my distressing tool to do that, and everything is inked as I've mentioned before. So I'll go ahead and put this on fast forward. So basically I'm doing 5 times speed, so the time that you see that this takes me, it actually takes me 5 times longer than that to get this done. So I'm on to the next page now, and this is a pocket page once again. Now the page that we just finished and this page and the next one are all photos taken while my granddaughter was on holidays, and so there's a lot of photos for one occasion. So I've decided to just go photo heavy here. The pocket page has got room at the top for one 6x4 photo, and then underneath that there are 2 3x4 photos. So I'm basically just, well, no there's not, there's 2 6x4 pockets, but I decided to put a 6x4 photo at the top and 2 smaller ones at the bottom. I'm filing around the edge of all of those photos and matting them onto some black cardstock. For the strip in the middle between the two photo pockets, I've just cut 2 pieces of pattern paper that are 1 inch wide by the length of that pocket. Actually, I only did 1 strip of paper because it's double-sided, so I just decided to use the back. I used those same alpha stickers to write my title, and then I did exactly the same thing for the back of the photo pocket page, but this time I put 2 smaller photos at the top and the bigger photo down the bottom, and instead of having my title through the centre strip, I used some more of those fussy cut embellishments from the pattern paper. These embellishments are from that Cogs in Time paper range. And I just used my art glitter glue to attach them to the pocket page. I find that the art glitter glue works fairly well on the plastic and tends to stay in place. And when I'm using, on my photos, I don't tend to use the liquid glue. I tend to use double-sided tape for that. So a quick look at what we've done so far today. Now my next page is also going to be another pocket page, but it's like a full-size pocket page, and I'm going to use some pattern paper as my background. But to start with, I'm going to mat my photo onto some black cardstock. This photo is of my granddaughter in a play, so I'm going to make the title for this page the play it is, and it's called Alice in Wonderland. So I'm using the same stickers once again, and my T ruler and reverse tweezers to put that and hopefully get it as straight as possible. I used my ruler and a fine black pen to just draw a double line under the title just to help that stand out a little bit. Then I attached my photo using double-sided tape. Now I use an assortment of brands of double-sided tape. Sometimes I use Couture Creations, sometimes it's Express, and sometimes it's one called Stickmaster. So I find that all 3 of those work pretty good. To embellish this page, I'm going to use a fussy cut item from the pattern paper, but I'm also going to use a piece of chipboard from Denise's range. I can't remember the name of this, and if I can find the packet, which I've probably thrown out, I will link it in the description box below. So I'm going to use a bit of that chipboard that I have painted white, and a piece of cheesecloth, and that will go underneath the fussy cut embellishment from the pattern paper. I will use my liquid glue to attach the heavier, well, to attach all of the embellishments. Actually, I find that the liquid glue works really well with the chipboard and the cheesecloth. Now I appear to have lost some footage of the construction of these pages. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more pages there that I've made that I haven't videoed, so I'll just give you an extended look at them now. You can see they're pretty straightforward. One is it's the back of one of the pocket pages, that last page that I did, and then I made a smaller cardstock page to fit in. I've just put a tag in that so that my granddaughter can write about her year on that, and then I've started a 3-page layout on her school camp. So yes, and the other page on the school camp is a pocket page with 2 6x4 sections and the middle section, which I've treated exactly the same as the other pocket page. So there we have it. I have almost completed this book now, almost, that is. I've still got the cover to do, and I have to check and see if there's any more photos to go in it, but I think I'm getting near the end. Once I have got this completely finished, I will do a flip through of the album, And I will also video the making of the, well, covering the the inside and the outside of the album, so that covering the you know what I mean, the outside. All right, enough babbling. So yeah, thank you for joining me here today for this pretty long video, although you know it's only going to be 20 minutes or so. So yeah, thank you again. If you're not already a subscriber, I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for joining me here on a regular basis. Don't forget to leave me a like or a comment. I like to answer all of my comments and I love reading them. And yeah, okay, well, I hope you can join me for my next video. Bye.